Booking a trip to the Ocean Riviera Paradise? Your first and biggest decision is which of the 4 buildings to stay in. Let's talk about each building's pros and cons, and what you need to know for a better vacation experience. There isn't one best building, as it really depends on you. For example, are you a beach or a pool person? Are you traveling with kids? Do you have any mobility issues? The good news is that Ocean Riviera Paradise has a building for everyone, no matter how you answered those questions. Here's a map of the Ocean Riviera Paradise property. These are the locations of the 4 buildings. To get yourself oriented, this is the entrance, and this is the beach. This would be considered the main area with most of the restaurants, but there is a restaurant by the beach as well. Let's start with the Daisy building. This is the one that you're most likely going to come across first. When I was booking my trip, a Daisy room was the least expensive. So for the most cost-effective trip, you're most likely going to choose the Daisy building. Your search results may vary, of course. If you're traveling with young kids, the Daisy building is most likely for you. In front of the Daisy building is the kids' water park. And I do mean kids' water park. This water park is made for very young children. I would say 10 years and younger. The water park looks pretty impressive and looks fairly large, but the slides are extremely slow and really made for children. The Daisy building is located closest to the majority of the restaurants. So if you do have any mobility issues, this may be a good building for you to stay in. And speaking of mobility, one thing I loved about the Ocean Riviera Paradise is it's very accessible. There's very few stairs. The only stairs you will see is in the buildings going up from floor to floor, but there are elevators in each of the buildings. The entire property itself is quite flat, very stroller and wheelchair friendly. For the few areas where it's raised, there's ramps. Also, if you do have mobility issues and you are staying at the Daisy, which is the farthest from the beach, and you do want to get to the beach, there is a tram service, a little shuttle service that comes around. It's about every 10-15 minutes, will take you to the beach. As the Daisy building is so kid-friendly with the kids' water park, if you do not want to see kids, the Daisy building is not going to be for you. The Daisy does have the smallest pool on property. It does have a swim-up bar and a walk-up bar, so you're not missing out on those, but it is quite small. And when I went, I did notice that out of all the pools, that the Daisy pool seemed to be in the shade most often. Due to the small size of the pool, if you like to sit around the pool, lounge around the pool, you're not going to find many chairs. There are more chairs around the water park than there are around the pool. Of course, because of the kids, it will get noisy. So if you do want a quiet, serene vacation, you might not want to stay at the Daisy building, especially if you like to sit on your balcony during the day. You're going to hear a lot of noise from the water park and from the pool. Note that just because you are staying in the Daisy building does not mean you can't use the other pools. You can certainly use the Eden pool or the Privilege pool or the Beso pool if you're an adult. At the Daisy pool, there are kids-specific activities, so the entertainment staff does host kids' activities. You will not find any adult activities at the Daisy pool. If you plan to float around in the Daisy pool, you may get interrupted by kids' activities. In the Daisy building area, there are hammocks. There is a very small kids' playground with some swings and some climbing activities. The Daisy building is closest to the kids' club. Speaking of the kids' club, I was actually surprised about the difference of the teens club and the kids' club. So the kids' club is for anyone under the age of 10 years old. If you are 10 or above, you're allowed to use the teens club, which is something I've never seen at any other property I've ever been to. Teens Club usually starts at 13. The Teens Club was nothing special. It had 4 TVs with some video games. I did walk into the Kids Club just to see what it was like. It was very nice. I think very young kids will have a great time there with all the activities they do. And the Daisy building is also close to a snack bar. I believe it's actually called the Daisy Snack Bar. You can check out my food review of the Daisy Snack Bar as well if you want. I'll put the link in the description below. The Beso is the adults-only building and the adults-only pool and area. There are signs along the walkway that do say that El Beso is adults only. The El Beso area isn't walled off, but there are bushes and trees to try to separate the El Beso area from the other areas. If I'm walking along the path towards the beach and I look left, I can see the kids area, the kids water park, clear as day. If I'm walking along the path towards the beach and I look right, then I will see trees and bushes. You cannot really see into the pool very clearly. You can see it's not completely blocked, but they do a good job at trying to block it off. So you will not see the kids walking by the El Beso section. You may hear them, but you won't see them. The El Beso building does have a very large pool. The Eden and the El Beso pool are the largest on properties, so it's quite a nice pool. There are activities at the El Beso pool. There is a volleyball net, and they do have basketball nets. The entertainment staff will do specific activities at the El Beso pool. They will play music as well at the El Beso pool, so it's not a quiet pool. You will hear activities, you will hear music going on. I wouldn't say the entertainment staff tries to be R-rated, but you can tell that the jokes they make and the activities they do are geared towards the older adult crowd, which makes sense. It's an adult-only pool. The El Beso pool does have a swim-up bar and a walk-up bar. There is an El Beso snack bar, which obviously is close to the El Beso building, and as it's in the El Beso building area, it's an adult-only snack bar. But the food they serve at the snack bar is the exact same food as they serve at the Daisy snack bar. It's the exact same menu, I should say. Some of the activities are held at the El Beso. I remember one activity, I think it was guacamole making or sushi making, and that was specifically held at the El Beso pool. You just got to check out the activity board to see where the activities are happening during your week stay. The Privilege Building is where I stayed. I did a complete video review of the Privilege Level experience. You can check out that video, link in the description. The pool located at the Privilege Building, I would say, was the quietest pool on property. Not the smallest pool, it would be just a little bit smaller than the El Beso and the Eden pool, but it was a quiet pool. There was no volleyball net, no basketball nets, no entertainment staff held activities at that pool. So there was no DJ that came by, no games that the entertainment staff played at the Privilege pool. It was a quiet pool. The Privilege Building is close to two restaurants. It's very close to the steakhouse and to the Mexican restaurant. There are hammocks right by the Privilege Building. There is a shuffleboard right in front of the Privilege Building. There's plenty of lounge chairs around the Privilege pool. If you can't find a lounger right by the pool, they have a few rows of loungers that you can use as well. And of course, if you are staying in the Privilege Building, you have access to the Privilege Lounge, which is right next door to the Privilege Building. It's maybe 20 feet away for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or just for a drink in the evening. Also in the evening, in front of the Mexican restaurant and the steakhouse restaurant, there is a bar set up. This bar serves some amazing cocktails. There's also some tables and chairs set up right by the bar, so you can have a nice cocktail in the evenings if you wish. And that's set up right in front of the Privilege Building, right at the entrance of the Privilege Building area. Again, if you want to know more about the Privilege Level experience, check out my full review, link in the description. And the final building is the Eden Building. Now this building is closest to the beach. So if you are a beach person, I know there's a lot of people who want to spend the whole week at the beach and not at a pool, you might want to stay at the Eden Building. A very short walk to the beach from the Eden Building. Just like the El Beso pool, the Eden pool is quite large. It has a volleyball net, it has a basketball net, and I'm not sure what it's called, but you don't have to take stairs to go into the pool. It's just a walk-in pool. So it's great for people with mobility issues. You just walk into the pool. The Eden pool is right next door to the Crepe and Waffle restaurant. So if you love crepes and waffles, that restaurant is right there. I did a full review of that restaurant. Again, link in description. Because the Eden Building is so close to the beach, you have easy access to Pez Vela, which is also on the beach. That's the lunch and dinner restaurant. You also have easy access to the juice bar. Right in front of the Eden Building, there is the cornhole game set up. By the Eden Pool, there's also hammocks to relax. Also at the Eden Pool, there's a lot of entertainment that happens. So whether there's a DJ playing music, or whether the entertainment staff is hosting games or doing water aerobics, there's usually some kind of activity happening around the Eden pool. I will say the Eden pool was probably the most popular pool on the entire property, so it's very busy. So if you like crowds, if you like a lot of activity, a lot of things going on around you, you'll probably want to hang around the Eden pool, so you might want to stay at the Eden building. Ocean Riviera Paradise, no matter which building you're staying in, is recommended. If you need proof, check out these videos. I'll see you on the next one.